Hello, friends, and welcome to your weekly reading of guidance and of inspiration. Welcome. I'm so excited to do this one today. Um, I'm not recording on my usual day. My whole routine and process that I usually go through is completely out the window, and I'm just going with it. I'm hoping this is going to be awesome. I have connected to Spirit and I have written down 6 questions, 6 little things that we're going to be focusing on today for your reading. I have chosen a deck that I got in this week. So this is a brand new deck into my collection and it is fabulous. A friend of mine showed it to me a couple of weeks ago and I ordered it on that day. Unfortunately, things take a while to process and to arrive here in our dear, beautiful, wonderful South Africa. So it's taken a month, but the deck has arrived and it is amazing. I'm so excited. So we are going to, our theme, our topic, our conversation that we're having today is a little bit surreal. So I think the Surrealist Tarot is just so appropriate. When I was sort of trying to work out how am I going to help you to choose a reading, to choose a bundle, I grabbed these little minis. So for those of you who are in South Africa, you may be aware that Checkers, which is a grocery store, is offering a mini. For every purchase of a certain amount, you get a free mini. And I have been collecting minis for a little bit of time now. And I've been wondering how I'm going to use them. And it looks like I have found a way. So, so because I am looking at doing a reading about a little bit of surrealness, I thought let's get some extravagances. Okay, so I've got coffee, and I will show you for those of you who are not familiar or who haven't seen it. I have Nescafe Gold coffee, which is a really nice coffee if you enjoy an instant coffee. So we've got our Nescafe coffee, and then for those of you who prefer something sweet but something a little bit more natural, we've got a little mini jar of raw honey. And then for those of you who like to truly indulge, we have a box of Lindt chocolate. Who doesn't love a box of Lindt chocolate? So I have got 3 extravagances, okay, that you can work with, that you can use to help you choose a bundle, a reading for today. We are going to use the Surrealist Tarot, which is a little bit unusual, a little bit strange, a little bit quirky, and a little bit fabulous. It's going to help us to climb outside of our comfort zones. It's going to help us to see things from a completely different point of view, from a different perspective. And I think it's going to give us some really interesting readings today. So as I said, I have written down 6 things that we're going to be working with, that we're going to be chatting about, our 6 points of conversation today, that we're going to use in the readings, and I hope that it's going to be amazing for you. I hope it's going to help you identify and figure out something within yourself, within your life, within your current situation that needs a little bit of work, that needs a little bit of effort, and something that you need to be focusing on, and just giving you the guidance and the inspiration that you need. So if this is the first time that you are here, welcome. I always do timestamps in my videos, in my readings. So if you look down below here, at the moment it'll probably say intro, and if you click on that, it'll open up a box. I think it'll be on that side of the screen if you're on computer or a tablet, and there will be the timestamps that you can click on. If you're on a phone, you're looking for the little down arrow that will expand the description box, and then it'll allow you to jump to the different areas. So if you've chosen coffee, you can just keep watching, because we're going to go straight into the coffee reading first. If you've chosen raw honey, you want to skip coffee. Or are you the kind of person who likes to put your honey in your coffee, in which case you want both of those. And if you're the kind of person who likes to have honey in your coffee while eating chocolate, in which case watch all 3. But in all seriousness, if you want to jump to honey, or if you want to jump straight to chocolate, and you want to skip the first 1 or first 2 readings, you can use the timestamps to help you navigate the reading. I love doing these readings. I love being creative and bringing you something different each week. I hope you enjoy them. If you do, remember to give the video a thumbs up. If you haven't already done, please do consider subscribing. Smash that subscribe button, and by interacting with the video, by liking it and by subscribing, it helps the channel to grow. It helps it helps my little YouTube channel to grow. And if the channel grows, it means I'm going to keep coming back and bringing you awesome content for free. I do have memberships, so if you are interested in connecting with me on a more regular basis, having more access to me, and just getting more free readings, do consider joining. There is a join button below, which will give you all the information you need. The last tier, the highest tier on my YouTube channel, is actually what I call the Activated Academy. And that's where we do all sorts of teachings around developing yourself, developing your own psychic skills and abilities. So if you're curious and interested in developing yourself and learning about all things psychic and all things divination and all things wonderful, do consider joining there too. But for now, let's get surreal. Let's get surreal. Let's have a look at what's happening in your life at the moment, what's going on around you. And we're going to start off with the coffee. We'll move on to the honey, and then we will finish off with chocolate, as everything should be finished off with chocolate. So friends, I'll see you there. Welcome to those of you who are, like me, coffee addicts. Nescafe Gold Coffee, welcome. In the intro, I didn't mention that I was going to use an oracle deck, but I have since decided to include an oracle deck. So this is the Enchanted Map Oracle, and let's have a look and see what we get. I'm going to shuffle all the cards and lay them out. I'll probably speed it up on camera so that it just doesn't bore you to death, but let's I'm going to lay out all the cards that we're going to need, and then I'll speed it up, and then we'll get on to doing your reading. Right, try and get everything to fit. I didn't think about that when I added the oracle cards. Okay, so we have got all our cards positioned beautifully on the table. Let's have a look and see what's going on in your life right now. So we're going to start off with the oracle card. As I said, this wasn't actually part of the plan. It was just as I was getting everything ready, I thought, hold a second, let's add in an oracle. So I don't actually have a question for it. We're just going to allow it to speak itself, allow it to give us whatever information we need right now. So the oracle that we have for you is card number 49, and it is about the talisman. So what is a talisman? A talisman is something that we keep on us, something that we carry with us, something that we assign value or meaning to, okay? And every time we hold it, every time we have it, every time we use it, we hope that it brings us more of that positive energy. So it is a thing that represents goodness in our lives. So talisman is basically saying to you that this particular reading, consider this reading to be your talisman. Consider this reading to be the message that comes through, to be the thing that you hold on to, that brings you positive, brings you happiness, and brings you joy, and keeps you on the path. I just noticed that she's walking a path. So it'll keep you on the path that you need to go to. And it's quite interesting, especially when I see our final card here. I'm not going to jump ahead in the reading, but when I see the final card that's come through for you, I understand the talisman association or message quite clearly. All right, so friends, for those of you who chose the coffee, I'm wondering if I shouldn't move the coffee. No, we're going to leave the coffee there. Okay. So the message that Spirit have for you today is that we need, at the moment, okay, at the moment, you need to focus on doing the right thing. At the moment, you need to be focusing on the things that are relevant and important and ignoring everything else that is not. Spirit is sort of saying to you at the moment that, you know, there is a right and a wrong. There is a truth and there is an untruth. There is the things that you desire and the things that you need. So there's all these kind of opposites in your life. And at the moment, it's like Spirit saying to you, focus on the right things, focus on the necessary things, focus on the things that are relevant, important, and significant, and not the other things. Because what's coming through here with these two cards, and they are both very, very strong, confident, capable cards, but their messages are coming in from different angles. So Spirit is saying, focus on doing the right thing. Don't focus on being right. I love that. I love that. I was wondering how I was going to say it, and as I got there, it's just like the words come. Spirit, give me the information that you need. You know, you need to focus on doing the right thing, not necessarily being the one in the right all the time. And I think the message that's coming through so strongly here for you as well is, especially considering we've got this path, we've got this talisman, you know what it is you need to do, you know what it is you want to do, you know what it is, you know how you need to do it and how you need to carry it out. But there's clearly conflict, okay? Inner conflict within yourself, because there's this path of truth and justice, and then there's this path of desire and want. So, and there's a very fine line between the two. And Spirit is saying for all of you with the coffee today, it's like, and it's interesting as well that I've chosen, like I said, the Nescafe Gold, which is a really nice coffee, but it is a compromise against proper coffee, okay? In my opinion, in my humble opinion anyway. And I'm certainly no coffee snob, but I do appreciate a good coffee versus a good instant coffee. But I will always compromise and settle for a good instant coffee if I can't have the other. And that's exactly what's coming through here, okay? So Spirit is saying to you, focus on what is necessary, what is truth, what is the thing that matters most. And don't always focus on trying to be right, trying to be righteous and victorious and successful, because there's a very fine line between the two. And at the moment, you seem to be jumping from this side to the side to the side to the side. So that's quite an interesting kind of thing for Spirit to bring through. Okay. We do need to say to you here, coming down to our Four of Wands down the bottom here. So the Four of Wands is about celebration. It's about growth. It's about coming together. It's about reaching potential, okay? And Spirit is saying to you, we need to be wary. We need to be careful of this because of this that you're struggling with at the moment, where you're trying to do the right thing, but you're also trying to make sure that you are right in whatever it is that you're doing. So there's a little bit of tit for tat that's taking place, okay? Because that's what comes through with those two cards. And Spirit is saying we need to be wary of celebrating too quickly, celebrating too soon. We need to be wary of thinking we've accomplished and achieved and attained everything we need to when maybe we haven't. So we need to be very much aware. We need to be wary of celebrating before we've actually achieved and accomplished whatever it is that we need to. Just because you're holding the talisman, even though the talisman is a good luck point and it will help you and it will guide you on your journey, but it's certainly not an instant guarantee of success and happiness. And Spirit is saying be wary of celebrating whatever it is that's going on in your life. Beware of celebrating too soon, because if you do start celebrating too soon, you could end up seeing your nose. Okay, so we need to be careful of that. So, and Spirit are also saying to you now, here we have what looks like a fried egg, and it's exactly that, it's a fried egg, but it is the card of the sun. The sun is about, vitality and life force and success and happiness and joy and all of those kind of good things. It is also about perfection in life. So Spirit is saying you need to do more living, okay? We're so focused on what we want to do, what we have to do, and, how can I do it all? You're so focused on this journey that you're on. You're so focused on achieving success and celebrating your success that maybe you've actually forgotten to live. You've forgotten to actually experience life as it is. So in all honesty, what I want to say to each one of you today, the message that's coming through is, we need to be very mindful of the journey that we're on, the experiences that we're going through, the opportunities that we're having, the opportunities that we're living. And the most important thing is to not give up on life before you've actually experienced life. And I think we're so focused on what we need to do, when we need to do, how we need to do it, who we need to do it with and for, and, what color is it, what shape is it, what size is it, what does it weigh, all of these conditions, that we've actually forgotten the essence of what matters. So we need to do more living. We need to do more experiencing life, at taking and accepting life at face value. Okay, very, very important. And I know it's difficult. But this is something that we absolutely need to do. Understanding that we're on a journey, understanding that we're going to take as many and as all the talismans we can to help us to bring good fortune, to bring good energy, to bring good juju into our world, because we want to succeed, we want the happiness, we want the joy, we want all of that good stuff. But it's a fine line between doing the right thing and being the right person. Okay, so let's come down to card number 5 in our situation here. And what we've got here is the Page of Wands. Now, I mean, immediately you just see all the color, you just see all the vibrancy that comes through there. He is a little bit over the top, he is a little bit flashy, he is a little bit fabulous. And this is Spirit saying to you that you need to recognize that you are all things. Here, we're saying you are trying to be all things to all people all the time, and you're struggling with that. You're struggling to do all of that, but actually it is exactly who you are. So with our Page of Wands, and just to bring it a bit closer so that you can see how awesome it is, he's got his paintbrush, which means that he is incredibly creative, but he doesn't make boring standard art. He does things all a little bit extravagantly and a little bit excessively and a little bit over the top, which is exactly what you need to be doing. You've been trying to be too controlled and too proper and forgotten how to enjoy life and how to live life. But this is who you are. So your greatest asset right now is your ability to be a little bit eccentric, is your ability to color outside the lines. That is the greatest thing that you need to be focusing on right now. You need to let go of everything else, let go of all these preconceived notions of being the right type of person, because that's what we've got here with our Emperor, is you trying to be right. You're trying to be in control and powerful and leadership and all of those kind of things. But actually, yes, you are all of those things, but you're so much more than that. And this is the message that I think we need to take from this, is that you are so much more than what you are allowing yourself to be right now. Okay, you are so much more than that, and it's important that you give yourself permission to experience, explore those parts of yourself. So your greatest asset right now is your ability to be a little bit eccentric, to visualize things differently, to see things differently, to imagine things differently, to create a different environment, world, and situation for yourself, one that doesn't look like anybody else's, and that's exactly what you need. So moving forward, okay, so considering the message that Spirit have had for you right now, where are you headed? What is next for you? Where are you going? What is coming up for you? And here we have this gorgeous 10 of Cups. What I love, again, this deck is just so truly fabulous. What I love about this particular 10 of Cups is here we have each person in all their gloriousness, in all their perfect imperfections. Each one's got their minds open, and inside of their minds is another version of themselves, and inside that one's mind is another version of themselves, and it's like the Russian doll kind of situation, each one inside of another, and the person that you are on the outside is very different from the person you are on the inside, but all together it's just amazing, and all together it's like one big happy family. And I think the message that Spirit want me to convey to you today is understand that you are multi-layered. Understand that you are, the person you portray to the public is different from the person you think you are, and it's again different from the person you actually are. Look at that. And this is what Spirit is saying to you. You've got to learn to be comfortable with all these parts of yourself, all these aspects of yourself, all these intricacies and eccentricities and etc. that you are, that you possess, and that you have, and realize that you cannot put all your focus into just one aspect, into just one part of, that you've got to give yourself permission to acknowledge, accept, and to love all parts of yourself, because you are all of those things and so much more. But we need to make sure that we don't feel like we have succeeded, accomplished, and are successful in just one thing, because if you do that, if you keep focusing on just one aspect of yourself, you are never going to have the success and the happiness and the joy that you want, that you deserve, and that you need. So your talisman, what you need to hold on to, what you need to keep with you as you journey through life, is the fact that you are such a multifaceted being, such a wonderfully beautiful, fabulous, multifaceted being. And you need to nurture, take care of, and work with every single aspect of yourself, and not just the aspects that you think society want, and that you think society accepts and looks for and recognizes as being correct. Okay, I love that. I think that is just truly, truly powerful. So recognize all that you are, celebrate all that you are, be happy with all that you are, nurture all that you are. Do not ignore any aspect of yourself, because they're all relevant, they're all valid, and they're all beautiful. You have a journey ahead of you. It is a long journey. It is a never-ending journey. It goes into the afterlife. It doesn't stop in this earth existence. It goes beyond that into the afterlife. So you need to embrace all that you are, celebrate all that you are, because you are amazing. And that, friends, is the message that Spirit have for you today. I do hope that you've enjoyed that. If you have, remember to hit that like button, and I'd love to hear from you below. As always, thank you for being with me today, with love and blessings from my heart to yours. And until we connect again, take care. And welcome to those of you who chose the raw honey as the charm, the reading for you today. I hope you're going to enjoy. I decided before I started recording the first bundle that I needed to add in an oracle deck. So I have grabbed the Enchanted Map Oracle. So I'm going to shuffle and draw out the cards. I'm going to do from the Enchanted Map Oracle, and I'm going to do from the Tarot deck. So I'm going to speed it up just to save you all the torture of watching me shuffle and lay out cards. So I will speed it up, and once all the cards are laid out, then I will come back and continue with the reading. So let's get the cards shuffled, and let's see what is it that Spirit needs you to know right here and now about your life. What's going on? What is the message for all of you today? All right, welcome. Let's just straighten up all the cards first of all. And I don't know why I put that one down face down and the rest of them all face up. It's a bit strange. It's a bit weird. Anyway, so as I said, in my original plan, I didn't have the Oracle deck down, so I don't have a question for it as such. But let's turn it over and let's see what it wants to say, and then we will get into the rest of the reading. So your oracle card that we have is card number 38, which is Heal the Ouch. Isn't that the cutest thing you've ever seen? Heal the ouch. And here we have the raccoon, who is the nurse, and she is healing and making the little fox feel better. So, and isn't it also quite interesting that you chose the raw honey, because honey is known as having really good antibacterial properties and can be used for healing. You know, you often hear people talk about if they've got a sore throat or something, you know, that they take a concoction, a mixture that has honey and other things in it that soothes the vocal cords and the throat and all of those kind of things. So honey is very soothing, it is very healing, it is very good for all those kind of things. So it's interesting that you chose the raw honey, and the very first card we have says to heal the ouch. Now, when we talk about healing the ouch, we might not be specifically directly referring to a physical ailment or a pain. It might be an emotional one, it may be a spiritual one, it may be a mental one, but there is something that's not quite good in your life at the moment, and it needs to be healed. Hopefully we'll get some clarity on the rest of the reading for you, but heal the ouch is going to become our theme. It's going to become sort of the undercurrent energy that I'm going to bring into the reading for each one of you today. So the first thing we're going to look at is Spirit's message as to what you need to focus on. And it's quite interesting, because actually this is something that personally I would feel we shouldn't be focusing on, because this is telling you to focus on what you don't have. Okay, so normally we don't want to be focusing on what we don't have. We want to be focusing on what we do have. But this is Spirit saying to you to focus on this, okay, to focus on the fact that there are things missing from your life. And I say things, it could be situations, it could be circumstances, it could be people, it could be finance, it could be emotion, it could be a multitude of things. But this is definitely saying to you that there are things missing from your life at the moment, and Spirit is saying focus on it. Then what's interesting is next to that, this is what you must focus on, and this is what you must not focus on. So Spirit is saying focus on what's missing in your life, because it's obviously causing pain, it's causing hurt, it's causing harm. And Spirit is telling you to focus on, sorry, let me rephrase that, to focus on what you don't have, to focus on what's missing, and to not focus on the way that you feel about it. Now, I know that sounds so contradictory, And I know that sounds like, hold a second, Rene, what are you actually saying? So let's unpack this a little bit. The Four of Cups is the card of boredom and disinterest. The Four of Cups is the card of saying, oh, you know what, I don't care. I don't care. I'm missing things. There's a lack in my life. There's gaps. Okay, I don't have love. I don't have a job. I don't have finances. There is something that I am lacking. Spirit is saying focus on that, not how you feel about it. Okay, because with the Four of Cups is the card of feeling so disinterested that you're actually telling everybody, I don't care. I don't care. Okay, so Spirit is saying you need to focus on the fact that there is something missing. There is a gap in your life, and focus on replacing, fixing, repairing, rejuvenating that instead of focusing on how you feel about it. Okay, so I know that's like quite a big concept. That's quite a big thing, and I think the message that that we need to talk about is pretending that you're okay, pretending that you're coping, pretending that everything's all right when things are clearly not all right is not getting you anywhere. So Spirit is saying, let's heal the pain. The pain is whatever is missing, lacking, and absent from your life. So instead of trying to be tough and saying, I don't care that I don't have that, I don't care that that person's not in my life, I don't care that I don't have the money, we need to focus on fixing this and not putting on this brave exterior. It's actually quite interesting the way that that's coming through. And I'm sure you're all sitting there right now, nodding your head at me saying, I understand, I understand, I understand. Okay. Spirit is saying to you, though, through all of this, understanding and you know, knowing what you need to deal with, Spirit is saying that you need to be wary of taking on too much. Okay, it's as simple as that. Here we have the card of the world. The world is about achievement, attainment, accomplishment, but big picture kind of stuff. And Spirit is saying be wary of taking on too much, because I think this is exactly how you got yourself into this position in the first place, by taking on too much, by trying to be more than you actually are. So in order to heal the ouch, we need to, number one, we need to be honest with ourselves around what it is we're feeling. What is missing? What is lacking? What is not present in your life? Okay. When you have been honest with yourself around that, and you're not trying to pretend like everything's okay, when you're honest with your vulnerabilities and you're expressing that, instead of trying to be super better than you are, rather just be honest. Spirit is saying to be very wary of the big picture, of everything, of taking on too much, because that's how you got into the same position that you are right now. Let's rather focus on the things that are important, on the little things that matter. And if you put your attention there, it'll eventually feed into the bigger picture. But you need to be wary that your focus is not too broad, too big, and that you are keeping it where it needs to be. In the heal the ouch kind of card, I mean, here we've got the raccoon playing nurse. You see immediately the fox has got a little ice pack on the head. The assumption could be that the fox has a headache. But what happens if the fox actually has a sore toe? You know, if the fox has hurt its little paw, putting the ice cap on the head is not going to help the sore toe. And I think, again, that's what this card is saying. This card is saying to you, focus on the problem, don't focus on the big picture. Focus on what's important, not the big picture. Okay, Spirit are also saying to you, and this is very, very interesting, King of Wands energy. Spirit is saying to you as well, you know, we need to be wary of taking on too much, but you need to be focused, determined. The fact that this is the King of Wands, kings are confident, strong leaders. Kings are people who are brave and courageous, who are full of strategy and plan, but they're also the people who consider the whole world. They consider their kingdom. They consider all their people. They consider the big picture. They don't focus on little individuals. Now, Spirit is saying be wary of taking on too much, but what you do need to do is you need to take more control over the things that matter most to you, which is your job, which is your career, which is the thing that you do on a daily basis. So that is where this lack is coming through. So whether it is, okay, if you are finding yourself struggling at work, whether that is being unemployed, whether that is just unhappy in your job, unfulfilled or unsatisfied in your job, Instead of saying, well, you know what, I don't care if they like me, and I don't care if I'm doing a good job, and I don't care, I don't care, I don't care. We need to lose that attitude. But instead of then trying to be liked at work, successful in what you do, get it all done, have a happy home, and earn enough money, and putting that kind of pressure on yourself, Spirit is saying focus only on what you can do, what you are doing, on what your actual requirements are. So if you are working, instead of trying to be friendly with everybody and get everybody to like you, just focus on getting your job done. Focus. I feel like I need to use that word excessively. Focus, 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 focus on the only one thing that matters, and it's one thing at a time. When you identify what is the one thing that you need to focus on, put your feelings aside, letting go of everything else, you will find yourself immediately being more successful, achieving more successfully, and having more happiness in all that you're doing. Okay. We can add a dollop of honey at a later stage if we need to. All right, friends. The next thing that we have over here, and it's the Queen of Pentacles, and she is just fabulous. Queen of Pentacles is fabulous. And she's basically identifying your greatest asset and your greatest talent and your greatest achievement right now. And basically what she's saying to you is that, you know what, you are so practical in all that you do. You're so honest in all that you do. You're so trustworthy in all that you do that, you know what, you are probably the most stable person there is. The only place where you've gone wrong is by trying to do too much, okay? By forgetting about your own needs, wants, and desires and being more focused on everybody else's, for not remembering to take care of yourself, but being there to take care of everybody else. So your greatest asset is your stability, is the fact that you are so stable, that you are so structured, that you are so reliable in all that you are. So focus on those aspects of yourself to help you focus on the right thing, to not focus on the wrong things, to not take on too much, and to be focused in the job that you have at hand. If you take the advice and the guidance given in this particular reading today, friends, this is what awaits you. This is what comes forward for you, and it is the Ten of Swords. Now, the Ten of Swords is, everything's gone so dark. As I brought up the Ten of Swords, did you notice that? The coloring on the camera's just like automatically gone so dark. There we go. Right, so I'm not going to bring this one too close because apparently it brings about the darkness. So Ten of Swords typically, it's quite a harsh card. It's quite a tough card, quite a difficult card, and quite a unpleasant card. But when I look at this one, my eyes are immediately drawn to the flower here. I have to show you. Hopefully the color doesn't change. Can you see? It's like the most beautiful sunflower. Okay, it's like the most beautiful sunflower. Now here we have this lady, and the colors go dark again. Right, let's go back down to the bottom. So here we have this lady, and she is gorgeous. I mean, of course she is. She looks so pretty, but notice how she's got her head turned. What does it mean if somebody's turning their head away? It's almost like they don't want to look at you, they don't want to face you, they don't want to deal with you. They're just choosing to be almost snooty and snobbish, because that's the kind of vibe that we get from her. Her head is in the clouds. Can you see that? Okay, her head is up in the clouds, but there's this kind of illusion with her, like, I don't know if she's real or not. Now we have a gentleman standing down here, but he seems to be part flower, part man. So again, is he real? Is he not real? You know, who and what is he? And then down the bottom here, we have another couple standing, and they're sort of standing back to back. They're not sort of facing each other. So now it's very interesting that we've got the Ten of Swords as where this journey is taking you. And I think this is taking you to a place of, number one, acknowledging what's not working for you, acknowledging in your life what is bringing you dis-ease and discomfort and unhappiness, and finally finding the courage to walk away from that, finally finding the courage to turn away from, instead of repeatedly going back for more. So we have to heal, but you can't heal unless you, number one, acknowledge the problem. Once you've acknowledged the problem and you allow the healing to happen, remove the I need to pretend that everything's okay kind of scenario. And if you start being more honest with yourself, forgetting about everybody else's needs, wants, and desires, and focusing only on the things that matter most to you, rocking up, pitching up, and being there, being stable, consistent in what it is that you do every day, you will eventually get to a place where this doesn't matter to you anymore, where other people's opinions and judgments and expectations no matter to you anymore because you've moved beyond. So the more you remain emotionally disconnected to your situation and your circumstance, the more you're going to remain disconnected from the happiness and joy that you deserve in your life. But as soon as you let go of the feelings, let go of taking on so much, and focus on what is actually missing from your life, whether that be happiness, whether that be, as I said, jobs, finances, emotions, love, relationships, whatever it may be, as soon as you acknowledge what's missing in your life, it's almost like you are 90% of the way to recovering from it, healing from it, fixing it, resolving it, finding it. And it'll give you the confidence to turn away from anything and everything that causes you unhappiness and harm in your life, because we don't need to be there, friends. So we need to start healing, and the best way for you to start healing is by acknowledging what is missing in your life right now. And once you've done that, we can go about adding a dollop of honey to sweeten up everything and to make everything better. All right, you got it? You understand? Good. Friends, thank you for being with me today. I do hope that this reading inspires you to make the changes, the understandings that you need in your life. As always, thank you for being with me today. With love and blessings from our heart to yours. And until we connect again, take care. And welcome to those of you who chose the box of chocolates as the reading that you need to hear right now. So welcome. When I did the intro, I didn't mention an oracle deck. And then just before I started with the first reading, I thought, oh, hold a second, I need an oracle deck. So I grabbed one that was close by, and it happens to be this one, which is the Enchanted Map Oracle. So I don't actually have a purpose for it in the reading. So we're just going to draw a card from this. We're going to just allow it to feed into the reading itself. So I'm going to start off with drawing that card, and then I'm going to do the tarot. So what I'm going to do, just to save you the torture of watching me shuffle and lay out cards, I will speed up this process. And only once all the cards are sort of displayed on the table will I then, bring the camera back to normal speed so that we can get on with the reading. So let's get shuffling. Let me lay out the cards, and I will be chatting to you in a bit. Right, cards are all shuffled and laid out. I'm just sort of trying to make sure that it's all neat and tidy and visible on screen. Awesome. I love this deck. I just adore this deck. It's crazy. All right, we're going to start off with the Oracle. I laid all the others face up. Why I start off with the Oracle face down, I actually don't know. I did it with the other two as well. Bit strange and peculiar, but anyway, it is what it is. So let's turn the Oracle over and see what message it wants to give us today. So you have, oh, this is so funny. This is so funny. You saw me shuffle and lay out the cards, and this is the same one that came through in one of the other bundles. Oh, how freaky is that? Okay, so it is card 49. It is the card of the talisman. So here we have somebody who is literally wearing a sheet, and they are walking a path, and you can see that this is a long, windy path, but she is carrying with her a talisman. What is a talisman? A talisman is something that we carry in the hopes that it brings us something positive, luck, happiness, joy, success, abundance, etc. We put all our hopes into that talisman, and we understand, we believe that when we carry it, when we hold it, when we have it on a person, it brings us success on our journey of what we're going through, because we're recognizing. And if we look at this particular card, you can see that she's sort of walking towards the mist. So she's walking towards things that are a bit dark and a bit scary and a bit unknown, and she can't really see. So she's feeling vulnerable, and she's feeling like she needs some kind of good luck, something to help her, something to ease her on her journey. So that's why, sorry, I suddenly looked down thinking, did I push the record button? But I did. All right, so let's carry on. Sure, I nearly had a bit of a panic attack there. I think I need a chocolate for that. All right, so the talisman here is basically saying that you are working towards, walking towards, moving towards something that maybe is a little bit scary, that maybe is a little bit frightening, a little bit daunting. So you're feeling like you need extra support, that you need extra good luck, that you need extra energy to help you through, and that is the talisman. So we're going to try and identify what your talisman is in this particular reading, but we're also going to see, maybe just by giving you, let this reading be the talisman that you hold with you as you embark on this journey to help you navigate the treacherous road ahead of whatever it is that's coming up for you. Okay, so we're going to start off here with our first card, and this first tarot card is what the universe or what spirit field you need to be focusing on right now. And it's quite interesting because it's card of the world. It's the last of the major arcana cards within the tarot system. And the world represents everything. It represents accomplishment, achievement, reaching your goals, achieving your goals, attaining your goals. It talks about coming full circle. It talks about having the understanding, the knowledge, and the experience that you need in your life at the moment. And this is spirit saying focus on this. Okay, focus on everything. Don't lose sight of your goals, even though it's in the mists, and even though it's like not very clear and you're not quite sure what it is, and you're not quite sure what you're going to face, and there's all these uncertainties. Spirit is saying to you, don't lose sight of what you're working towards. Don't lose sight of what's important and significant to you as you embark on this journey. It's also about understanding all that is important, all that is significant, and not allowing yourselves to only focus on one thing or one aspect or one part of, but to be fully inclusive in making sure that you're working towards your big goals, your big achievements. Now, the next thing that Spirit is saying, what you should not be focusing on, starting any new projects. Okay, do not be taking on anything new right now. Let's focus on completing, achieving, and accomplishing the things that we've already started, the things that are already set in motion, the things that we've already been working on. It's important at the moment that you don't take on anything more because you're at capacity. Okay, you are at capacity. And it's quite interesting, just to bring our little box of chocolates into it over here. So if you have a box of chocolates, when you buy it, it is full. Maybe with a bit of effort, they could add another one or two more. But when the box is full, the box is full. When the box reaches its goal weight or its goal quantity, it is considered complete. And even if there is still space to squeeze in one or more, that is the way that the plan is. That's the goal. The goal is to have X number of chocolates within a box of that shape and size. And I think for each one of you, this is exactly what Spirit is saying. You are already on a journey. You already know what you need to do. You already have a plan. You already have this direction of where you're going. Focus on that. Stay focused, committed, and dedicated to the path that you're on. But don't feel that along the way you need to be picking up stragglers, picking up extras, doing a little bit here and doing a little bit there. You need to make sure that you are not focusing on taking on anything more than you need in your life right now. Complete that which you have going, complete that which is on your plate first, and then you can focus on taking on more stuff. But for now, it's an absolute no, time out, cross hands, no, 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 no. No taking on anything extra right now until you have completed, achieved, and succeeded through the things that you need to right now. Okay. Spirit is saying to you, be very wary of the moon. Be very wary of the moon. One of the things that we have to understand about moon energy is that not everything is as it seems. Okay, so if you think about by daytime, by sunlight, everything looks fabulous, everything looks great, you can see clearly, everything's great. But as soon as the moon comes out and the sun disappears, we have these long shadows, and we have darkness, and we have eerie, scary crevices and things like that. The moon is about facing our fears and facing and recognizing that not everything is quite as it seems. And this is something that you need to be wary of. So, looking at our talisman card, there she is walking towards the mist. Mist, we know what mist is. We can see the mist, we understand the mist, we recognize the mist, but we can't see what's in front of the mist or what's in the mist, okay? And Spirit is saying to you, be wary of that which you cannot see, that which you cannot understand. So don't just blindly go. You've got a plan, you've got a strategy, you've got your goals. Stay focused on that. If you take on any more, you're not going to be able to see clearly what it is. So you need to be careful of stepping through. Stepping through to the unknown, stepping through to uncharted territories or things like that, because it will get you into trouble. Okay, so Spirit is saying again, this is like really coming through so strongly, like don't take on any more right now. Stick with what you have doing, complete what you've got going on for you before taking on anything else, because a lot in your life is not quite as it seems at the moment. All right, Spirit are saying to you though, because you know what, I can just immediately hear you all sort of going, oh, but you know what, so and so needs me, and this situation requires my attention, and I can't let them down, and you know, they need my help and they can't do it without me. I can hear all of these what if scenarios or buts, but, and in all honesty, Spirit is saying to you, you need to understand that there is a time and a place for everything, and right now it's a time and a place for you. It's a time and a place for you to complete your goals, your projects, your duties, your dreams, your aspirations. And what you need to understand is that it's time for you to do what's the right thing for you, not what's the right thing for other people. It's time for you to be honest with yourself first and foremost. And it's time for you to put yourself first. It's the right thing to do. You have given so much of your time and so much of your energy to other people, to other situations, and to other circumstances. And where's it got you? Like, nowhere. You haven't completed anything that you had planned. You know, and I'm hearing from Spirit right now that we are now looking at the calendar, sort of past the halfway mark of August. You probably started this year off with all of these goals and all of these dreams and all of these ambitions. We're now 8 months into the year. How are you doing on that list? Probably not as well as you had expected. Why? Because you give too much of your time and energy to everybody else. You keep taking on other people's projects, other people's problems, other people's situations to ease their burdens. And you go into things without fully knowing what's going on, and you find yourself at the back of the queue again and again and again. So Spirit is saying to you, time out on anything and everything. It's time for you to focus on completing and achieving the things that actually matter to you, the things that you want to achieve for yourself. Let's start focusing on that and let's ignore everybody else. It's time for you to do more truth for yourself first and foremost. Good. You know, the first couple of cards that we've looked at, you know, that they seem to be shouting at you. They seem to be giving you a good old lecture, putting you in your place and telling you, you know, what you need to focus on or what you mustn't focus on. So I don't like to only focus on the negatives. So I sort of said to Spirit, when I got to this point in writing down the questions, I sort of said to Spirit, right, come on, give us a positive here. Give us something positive. And the question I've said is like, what is your greatest asset right now? What is such a good quality that you possess right now? And here we have the beautiful Ace of Cups for you. So the Ace of Cups is about emotional connections. It's about emotional feelings and interactions with other people. And Spirit is saying that this is the thing with you, is that you're a good person. You're a nice person. You're a likable, lovable, generous person. You're always thinking about others. You're always considerate of others, and you will always go out of your way to help and support and to be there for other people. So right now, your greatest asset is your people skills. Even if you don't like people, even if you find that people are letting you down and hurting you and betraying you right now, you have this amazing way with people and people just adore you. So the reason why I'm mentioning it in this way is because you have to focus on yourself, right? It's as clear as day that you've got to start focusing on yourself. So when other people come to you and say, oh, can you help me? Do me a favor, just quickly. People, when they start a sentence off with just quickly, you know you're getting yourself into trouble. So when somebody comes to you and says, oh, don't you want to just quickly help me with something? Instead of being hard, horrible, nasty, and aggressive and saying, no, 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 because that's not in your nature. That's not who you are. What you need to do is you need to use your personal skills, your people skills, your personality to help them help themselves without it taking too much of your own time. So it's almost like Spirit saying to you that you need to turn, because you are very good at doing this, at turning the situation around back to whoever sent it to you or asked you. And instead of jumping up and saying, sure, no problem, I'll do it for you, turn around and say, actually, why don't you fetch that, take it there, do that? And by just giving that one sentence, you've passed the responsibility back and allowing people to handle things for themselves. So, or recommend, refer them to somebody else, okay? But you've got to use your personal and your personal skills, talents, and abilities, your personality skills, talents, and abilities to deflect other people's requirements and expectations and not take it on, because your greatest asset right now is your ability to do that, is your ability to sort of understand where they're coming from, to understand what they're asking you, and then push them to where they need to be so that you don't take it on for yourself. And finally, our last card here that we have is the Six of Swords. And basically, I was saying to Spirit, with everything that we've covered, this journey that we're going on, this experience that you're having, this focus and not focus, where is it all going to take you? Like, what is the end goal here? And for you, we have the beautiful Six of Swords. I just adore this artwork. So what we've got happening here is, I mean, it's a bit of a strange kind of a boat situation happening with, like, there's a tiny little stream of water, but they seem to be moving on swords. This artwork is just so fabulous. So the Six of Swords is the card of moving away from your current reality towards a reality where you hope, dream, and aspire that it is better than what you're leaving behind. But it is about progress. It is about moving forward. But it's also about leaving behind things that no longer serve you, that no longer assist you, and no longer are worth anything in your life. But we can't do this if we don't complete the things on our plate. So we can't move on. We can't move forward. We can't move if we are tied down with too much stuff that hasn't been completed. So let's complete our tasks. Let's complete our goals. Let's achieve them. Let's not take on any more until the move has taken place. Now, friends, I'm going to say to each one of you that chose the chocolates who are listening now, you know, to me, this box of chocolates, it signifies gratitude, love. It signifies luxury. It signifies a little bit of pleasure. And it also signifies for me a little bit of delicate decadence. Delicate decadence. And this is something that you've got to allow yourself. Now, it's interesting that you all came here because you chose the box of chocolates. You might have had your own reasons for choosing it, but I think you chose it because that little bit of delicate decadence is missing in your life. And you don't have space for it. You don't have time to actually go and have a chocolate and just to eat a piece of chocolate and enjoy a piece of chocolate. You don't have that capacity in your life at the moment because you keep on taking on other people's stuff. All right. And it's important that you recognize that, see that, and disconnect from that so that it doesn't affect you any longer. When you've learned to do that, you're going to find your life moving in a completely different direction, in a different direction that's going to bring you happiness and joy that you're looking for. But you're not going to find that where you are at now. So if you want to move towards a life of delicate decadence, stop taking on other people's stuff. Right, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you for being with me today. I hope this reading inspires you, motivates you, and gives you the guidance that you need. Thank you for being with me. With love and blessings from my heart to yours. And until we connect again, take care.